Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back. Welcome to. Appreciate the support. Either way, cuzzies, my name is Josh. I go by iChart Daily. Today is October 2nd, 2025. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a window to my thought process on how I do a technical analysis breakdown on Bitcoin and a ton of other coins. I'm going to be giving you swing trading. First off, not financial advice. Just want to throw that out there. Not looking to lose another channel. Not financial advice. We are chit-chatting at a bar. This is my thought process, cuzzies. So, I'm going to be looking at longer time frames, mid to longer time frames, which is like the daily all the way to the week to week, to figure out different liquidation zones, VPVR levels, etc., on where we think potential altcoins can go to. So, in this video, grab a pen, paper, yada, yada, yada. First things first, we're looking at the 2-3 week at Bitcoin. We look decent, right? What I mean by that is if we do golden cross here, we're going to see some huge green candles, at least for the next, 10 to 30, 24 days, whatever it is, right? 2 weeks. If that being said, with Bitcoin's dominance also potentially coming down in that time frame, we could see some alts doing some nice things, right? And the reason why I said that is because, yes, we did make a lower high, but we did make a higher low, so it's almost like a symmetrical triangle. It's like a 50-50 percentage of it going up or down. So next thing, though, you can see here we are making another symmetrical triangle, right? Lower highs, higher lows, room to the upside, to the macro overbought level of the market cycle tops, right? That's what I'm trying to say with all those words. The top, in a nutshell, cuzzies. The top, the top beginning of 2026. Get your altcoins ready. So let's look at, what was I looking at? One that no one really talks about, but okay. First thing I'd like to teach you guys, I like to buy things when they're extremely oversold, because that gives me the most amount of opportunity to make the most amount of money. Now, you never want to go, I don't even want to say it, but it's Ben Stiller from a movie, but you never go full R, right? And if Hex is down here, you never be like, well, bro, when is it going to be 51 cents again? Like, don't even ask me those stupid questions. What we're looking for is room to grow. From here, just here is 140%, right? And then this is like 240 to 290%. That's just stupid percentages, and it's on the horizon. I don't care about Richard Hart. I don't care about all that. I care about the charts. I care about room to grow. I care about market structure. Hex right now is fighting the 11 moving average on the monthly time frame, but is forming hidden bullish divergence, right? The price has been going sideways for a while now, right? We've been staying between point whatever's 877 to this level here of the 0.05144. The first thing that I notice is there's definitely room to grow, at least back to the 21-day moving average, and fulfill this W pattern. 1 and then 2. Then thereafter that, I'd like to see another higher low and then another higher high, breaking these highs here of the 0.6929 to potentially 5569. And like I said, break up to these levels here of the 12574, and then you're off to the races up to your next levels of the 1 penny to close to like the 3 pennies. Just to show you what that looks like. Risk reward. So stupid. So risk, I'm putting it below the most recent candle here, right? Boom. You're here. And you're going here. Okay? if you need to zoom in, right there, and okay, first take profits are around here, the 0.4826 at 33%. Max take profits at these filling these wicks here at the 59 to potentially 70%. What usually happens thereafter is once you break the first moving average, you'll use this second one as resistance, and then you'll start to see the golden cross start to happen. But you'll start to use the 11 now as support, 21 as resistance, form this bullish structure, and then eventually break out of this level of the 0.011 here. And at that point, the play would be up the 150%, excuse me. And then at that point, I mean, you're looking at, forget it, 200 and something percent. So now take profit levels, right? I would probably do like 30 to 40% here. See how it comes back to these support levels, right? Next take profit here. And then final take profit like there. Like falling wedge type thing, and then you're looking at 70 to 250 to 500%. With a 2, 3, 4x leverage, I mean, who's better than you? That's Hex, Doge we went over the other day. Let's just make it clean for everyone. My take profit levels are going to be here, here. Alright, that is a cool 16. 29, 35, 41, 16%, 45%, 73%. Maybe you do like 25, 25, 25, not financial advice. 25% here, 25% here, 25% here. You're off the table playing with the casino's money, and you leave 25% for the fool's gold, right? Anything higher than your 43 cents. At that point, it's like, yeah, cool, we're all high-fiving. ADA. Right, uptrend, resistance, right? Was it support resistance in the past? 100%. It's a zone. It's going to be anywhere from $1.32 to here, $1.03. Curious from here to here is 23%. Yeah, okay, so confluence it. Golden cross above zero line. Golden cross, room to grow from 57, higher high situations. All right, 1, 2, all right, 1, 2, 3. You're gonna hear me punch a desk. You're gonna hear me do it if this mouse doesn't keep fucking around. So we have room to grow, overbought, obviously. I'm taking levels at the 66, the 70. And you read levels above, take a screenshot. See, this is how quick I go, bro. I'm listening to like house music or whatever it is, pumping, going through stuff. Right, overbought, stochastic, coming down. Curious to see if we do something like this, form symmetrical triangle, break to upside. That hasn't happened yet, so we need to see, but it looks like it's happening, right? So lower highs each time, but higher lows each time. This eventually should break out here. We're breaking into section A, which is above the 50 line, so that's a good thing. If we form that higher low again and stay above the 50 line, that shows me that we have momentum on our side and could break back to the 75 to 93 on the monthly. Once again, these are monthly candles, monthly charts. we have 29 days of bullish momentum on our side. That usually means higher lows, higher highs on the shorter time frames, like if you zoom to the 2-day, right? So everything happens in waves, but we're starting to see, it looks like, if we're getting bullish momentum on a monthly, your 2-3 days should start forming bullish structures. What does that mean, right? Is this going to be a double top, Batman poking his head over the fence, or is this going to be a beautiful cup and handle that breaks to the upside? I'm curious. Right, always go longer to see what your market structure is, right? So market structure is obviously, I mean, clear as day. Right? I mean, you don't have to be doing this for 17 years to see that we're supporting that. And you don't have to, same thing, right? This is your liquidation zone right here, but primarily it's from here to here. So we need to see if we do come up here, then have some type of bearish structure, come back to support, where we've seen support in the past, right? I'm assuming maybe like here, right? So I'm assuming, right? I'm looking at the waves, cousins. I hope you're following along here. I'm going fast. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then we do 6, right? Because cup and handle, just look it up. Cup and handle, that means we maybe even break the $2.80 on Cardano when that plays out. Just to give you insight, you want to look at ADA BTC, and you want to make sure if Bitcoin's going up, dominance is coming down, and your ADA versus Bitcoin is going up. You don't have to listen to anything that I just said. All you need to do is understand if you could catch this, right? If you could catch those pumps, I could guarantee ADA went up in those time frames. You ready? First one, December 2020 all the way to August 2021. December 20, August 21, December, where is it? December 20. $0.05 to $3.21. That was when officially we're out of this bear market. We formed the W pattern. We broke out of resistance, right? And then we filled, right? I say the same things over and over. Batman is the opposite way, right? What we're looking to see is ADA not doing this, right? This double top, because usually the legs get filled on the other side. Same thing the other way around, cuzzy, right? This is the real way, right? So we came down, right? Boom, double bottom, and then filled the leg, but first had to break this liquidation zone here, form that, like I said, the little like cup and handle type thing, and then boom, up to the upside. I feel like it's happening again. You know, there is a way to do it. Bars pattern, right? It's like 1, 2 to 3, right? And like you can manipulate it and spread it out, right? But I mean, hello, does anyone else see that we came down, went up, came down, went up, and then we're here. I literally just said we're in the cup and handle structure of the market structure of the structure of the structure. Bro, do me a favor, please. Subscribe. Just follow what I do. Yeah, so that's happening with ADA. Algo. I guess we'll look at Algo. We haven't looked at Algo in a while. Let's see what's going on a monthly. Still below the 0. Not the best. Still below the 0. Still below the 0. What I would do with Algo is I would set an alert on the monthly for like 51. I would set an alert at the 0, and I would set an alert at the stochastic 50 for Algo. I mean, as of right now, you can see it's doing this. You can see it's doing this, right? So algo right now's take profits would be back at these liquidation zones of 28 cents, right? It has to break this level first. This is a key level. When I see in the past it being used as support, resistance, resistance, support, right? Support, resistance, resistance, resistance. Once we break this level that has so many buy and sell orders at it, at this 24 cents, then your next key levels are going to be here, right? I'm looking at another key level that was used as, again, now resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, resistance. And that's how you figure out key liquidation zones, especially on longer time frames, right? So 24.3, 28.8, if those levels are broken, and it looks like we have momentum on this on the side, right? I'm looking at the swings here, cuzzies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Double bottom. Coiling up. Now we need to see a nice break to the upside. Don't be greedy and automatically assume that we're going all the way up here. Choose a good 2, 3, 4 levels in the meat and potatoes of the swing. So just in case it gets stopped out here, or just in case it gets stopped out here, you at least take 20-30% off the table and you book some profit, right? Can we confluence this with some indicators? Not necessarily yet. You're just getting regular divergence, right? You're getting higher lows, higher highs out of the swings on the RSI and the MACD, right? Lows were going down here. This is your first higher low above the zero line. You could put on your moving averages. Curious to see what we're doing on the monthly. Yeah, your monthly is coiling up. Once again, we were using the moving average as resistance. Once you're using it as support, you're bullish. Once you're using it as resistance, you're bearish. I have it where it turns white or purple depending if the RSI is above or below the 50 line on that time frame. The 11-day is the dotted, the 21-day is the solid, and you can see using it as resistance. This was the first time that we retested those highs, formed a higher low, formed another higher high, formed another higher low. So we're confluenced that with higher lows, higher highs. I like it. This one would be here. Your risk is very close. It is not down here. Excuse me. So stupid. So tight, bro. Like right here at the 0.19, you are here, and I'm going once again here at like these 25 cents. You're looking at 18%. Fill the rest of these wicks up over here at 27%. Fill these up over here at 52%. Off to the races at 82 to about 100%. Calling it a day there. Another one, flare. Let's look at flare. Let's look at flare. Get rid of this real quick just so that everyone can see what's going on. Right, so right away we're looking at momentum, right? Is momentum, major momentum on our side? What we're seeing now is, yes, momentum is on our side, right? We want to see what type of momentum. So it is higher lows. It is higher highs, but it looks like momentum could be like stalling out a little bit at this level here. Sorry, I keep clicking that because that is usually there, this box. We're stalling out at obviously liquidation. So as you can see here in the past, if someone says what's going on with flare, well, basically there's sell orders. There's sell orders at these levels. The major thing that I do see though, that I was just explaining, I forget, I think what algo is, you know, W patterns and M patterns, double bottoms. So right now, this does look like a rising wedge, right? Can we confluence that with anything? No, we look somewhat decent. It does look like we could come back down and retest the moving average, but we're above the 80 line on the stochastic. We're in like explosion mode for a lot of these alts. I'm curious if Flare versus BTC. Okay, I want to teach you something. If you're looking at your coin versus the dollar, right? And you're like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then you look at your coin versus Bitcoin. Excuse me, if your coin versus Bitcoin looks like it could be in a little bit of a consolidation mode, that will stunt the growth of the positive momentum versus the dollar. And it will increase the blood when the next wave comes down, right? What I mean by that is everything happens in waves. It's just, are the waves going up? Are the waves going the same parallel? Are the waves going lower? If Bitcoin's going up, but your coin versus Bitcoin is going down, your coin versus the dollar is going to have a hard time going up. But once Bitcoin does this, right, and then starts to form its top and come down, as well as your coin versus Bitcoin is coming down, well, when your coin stays flat or does this compared to other coins doing this, you get pissed off because this one makes a higher low, but this one potentially makes a lower low. Right, it all depends on these factors over here, what your coin versus the dollar is doing, but more important, what is Bitcoin doing, what is Bitcoin's dominance doing, and what is your coin versus Bitcoin is doing. As you can see right now on this chart, Bitcoin has room to bleed, right? Your stochastic broke the 80, we're coming down. We're still above the 50 line on the RSI, we're still above the 50 on the stochastic, we're still above the 0 on the MACD, showing me that we're not having a major crash, but we could definitely come back down to the moving averages and still lose a little bit more. And then if this one starts breaking down, you could come back down to the moving averages. And if this one breaks down, you could come back down to the moving averages. And if this one breaks down, you could come back down to the moving averages. So we need to see. The most important thing right now is on this weekly chart, right? Long-term trends predict short-term outcomes. That means if your weekly looks good and is forming a bottom again above the moving average, right, we want to see something like this. We want to see a continuation to the upside. We really don't want to see a break and a death cross of your moving average continuously going up, but then your RSI breaks down. We don't want to see that, right? We don't want to see volume coming down on the MACD and the MACD starting to form a top around the 0 line, right? We don't want to see the stochastic RSI. Death cross is fine, right? But death cross and break the 80, right? You can see death cross go above, right? Death cross stay above. Death cross, as long as we stay above and continue doing something like this, we're all right. Once we break the 80 line, we break market structure, right? Not my opinion. Look in the past. Every time we broke market structure, we came down. Every time we broke market structure, we came down. If we break market structure, we break the moving averages. We come down. If we come down versus Bitcoin, flare versus the dollar, forms a more bearish structure, meaning this leans more towards a rising wedge, which now has a higher probability of potentially coming down and doing something like this. Not all charts are the same at the same time, and you don't want them to be. I've mentioned this many times in the past, but having different momentum at different times helps people like me. Right? If you had my capability of sitting here understanding, all right, this one looks better than this one needs more time to form a bottom, this one's forming a top, we should take profit from this one, put the money into cash here, when this one forms a bottom, then we put the money here. It's called the transfer of wealth. Money is being transferred from different commodities, different assets, different coins, all the time, and that's what helps the market move. Right? And not everyone can know what I'm doing, because then there wouldn't be any stupid money. And there wouldn't be any exit liquidity. Everyone would know when to buy, when to sell. There wouldn't be many people buying and selling. Most people would just buy and hold. We're now getting close to the 25-minute mark. I am going to choose Palantir. No, Palantir's, that's whatever. I'll keep it crypto related. Maybe I'll do Link. Ethereum? I'll do Ethereum. Ethereum. So, first things first, my people come first. Turn off the moving averages. Let's see what's going on with price action. Right, so once again, it's like W patterns for the win. We had a consolidation. We went up, come down, right, double top. Now we're here. We formed the same lows here, technically. And now we're seeing resistance again here. So is it resistance or is it a breakout and a retest? That's what we're curious to see, right? Because technically 38.39 is resistance, if you want to be anal, no diddy, about it. But 38.44 you could see is where the sell orders started. So technically right now we are using the high as resistance, the resistance as support, which is the orange, and we're forming this so-called elephant nose pattern, right? 1, 2, and we need to see, are we going to continue to use the 38.44 support and then have a break to the upside, or are we forming a top and going to break the 38.44 and head back down to the downside? You can see here macro higher lows, macro higher lows on the swings. Play devil's advocate, right? Before we look at indicators and really dig deep, look at like what's going on, right? I'm setting an alert here and I'm setting an alert here. If we are to break to the upside, I'm using the fib from the high to the low, from the windows to the wall. My next resistance is going to be 5,500. So I'd probably take profit, you know, like 2-3 levels in between that, like 5150, 5350, 5550, and then 5700. If it comes down, all right, just speculation right now. We're not really digging deep. Where's indicators, section A, section B, yada, yada, yada. If it breaks down, right, my alert goes off here, then this is on the table. I would say right about here. The reason why I say that is I'm looking in this chart to see where in the blank space were there wicks at certain levels in the past, right? And I saw this and I saw this, and I was like, well, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Right? That just like pops out of nowhere, that is just a major level. So I'm going to keep some cash on the side just in case poo-poo hits the fan. Now, looking at this does look like, if you remember me saying, an ascending triangle. An ascending triangle is when you have the same resistance levels, but you form higher lows, and eventually this is a measured move to the upside, right? And this is like your breakout point to 9,000 Ethereum. Listen, hey, not my opinion, that's just what it is. Curious what this lines up with. Okay, the 2.2, really the 2.68, and I'm curious what this lines up with. $5,700 again. I'm sticking with 5,700. That's my wick. Now, what should be the first thing that there's two right answers to this question. What should be in your thought process of things to look at to help confluence if this is going up or down? First thing I want to look at is, what does the monthly chart look at with Ethereum versus Bitcoin? First time looking at it in a long time. So we're in consolidation mode. All right, you could see here break of market structure, death cross, break of market structure. What that means is RSI below below moving average, stochastic broke 80, MACD volume coming down. All right, moving in, indicators on. Sorry, moving averages on. Yeah, we're coming down. If we were to break the 50, we're breaking this level and coming down even further. 2 week. Very important if the weekly consolidates and stops or continues bleeding. If it continues bleeding, then your longer time frames do the same thing, right? Market structure break, market structure break, market structure break, market structure break. We're above the 80, we're above the moving average, we're still going up, but is the same thing going to happen? And we have 10 days to see if that does. I mean, listen, as of right now, you are in a golden cross structure, right? As of right now, you are above the moving average, and you've used the 50 as resistance. So that means we could have blood, but we could be forming a higher low to this one here, right? That's just the way it is. And what I mean by that, to give you a visual, is like we're here, right? We're like right here. We're like, we could have that pop up. We could have massive blood coming down, but then form a higher low like around here, right? 2415. But we are in the start of an uptrend. That's the start, right? Because once again, golden cross, the break of the moving average, right? We were below since March 2022. Lower highs, lower lows, using it as resistance. Boom. July 2025, we're now above, and it's been green ever since. So market correction possibly, but higher lows thereafter. So what does that mean versus Ethereum USD? Depending if, okay, so it versus Bitcoin doesn't look great, so that means we could stay flat if Bitcoin continues to go up. If Bitcoin comes down, right, not if, but when. And what I mean by that is like correction, right? Like we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, we go up. Doesn't matter. We go up, we go down. Doesn't matter, right? Yes, higher low, right? The last low was 109, so I do think we come back down, form a higher low at like the 112. But if and when that happens, does Ethereum bleed more than other coins just because of what we just showed you on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart? So what I mean by that is maybe we don't pump before we dump, right? I think we do maybe come down before we go up. Once again, certain coins look better than others. You're already late to the party, right? This was 1700 to 4100. Now your next play is making sure it breaks 4730. That's it. We're just trying to figure out if it does have a higher probability of breaking up or down. As of right now, you know, we need to see it form a bottom, double bottom, break the 20, and then once again break 4700. Then I'm opening up my long. Liquidation price is below 3760. That's the video. 33 minutes. I can keep going though. Like that. Listen, one day we'll do a live and we'll just go over all. It's the same thing. I could close my eyes and we can look at Tron. Right. Once again, I'll leave you with this. Join the Discord. Links in the description. I mean, me and my boys were talking about Tron's chart like here, and then again here, and then again here. I was like, dude, you know, golden crosses on the stochastic above the 50, staying above the moving average above the 50, never death crossing on a monthly. Tron's been in a bull market since, you know, 2022, bro. Enjoy the day. Love you guys. Any comments, questions, concerns, leave it in the comment section. If you appreciate these videos, if you learned something, just do me a favor. Help me grow this channel just by liking the video. If you think that this is valuable, to anyone that does any type of charting, trading, wants to be a technical analysis person, share the video. I'd appreciate it. Discord link is in the description. I've been telling my community about Tron since like 24 cents. Also, if you've been enjoying the community posts, the educational posts, like them, interact with them. If you have any suggestions on what topics you'd like me to talk about and expand upon, leave it in the comment section. Besides that, love you guys. Appreciate the support.